Hello, everyone. Hello, welcome to this week's episode of Tuesday Night Draws featuring me. My brain froze for a second there. This is Tim Adams, otherwise known as the Gollum Wolf, here on YouTube and or Twitch, depending on where you're watching. We're all around. So this week we are drawing the wonderful Judge Dredd, who was chosen by a generous donation through my Coffee page. So if you have any characters in particular that you'd like to see me draw on this or on this show, you can donate $5 to my Coffee page. The link's on the screen there, and you'll be able to get it in the queue. So what you're seeing right here, though, is a testament to something I'm going to be trying today. These are my first couple attempts here. Here, give me 1 second. I want to try. There we go. Maybe. There we go. There we go. Okay, get a little more centered camera. Anyway, so I've normally been using my my Copic markers, or the Ohu markers, basically alcohol markers, to do my coloring. And today I'm going to try something a little different. I'm going to do some watercolors. I got my watercolor kit here, and we're going to give it a shot. So these were right here are a couple of my early attempts. So this is my attempt at, this is technically the second attempt. Now here's the first attempt. This is nobody in particular. I was just messing around. It looks a lot more, hold on, let's see. He's looking a lot more orange. There we go. That's probably a little more accurate. So there we go. So yeah, so this is nobody in particular. This is just me messing around. I thought it turned out kind of cool. So this is my second attempt. This is Domini, my barbarian character that I'm working on. And yeah, so I was pretty happy with how these turned out. So I thought, you know what? Let's go for it. So the thing about these versus what I'm about to do is this is much more expensive paper. So this is really good high-end smooth hot press watercolor paper. Why does my camera keep doing it? There we go. Here we are. So hot press watercolor paper, meaning it's nice and smooth, but because it's watercolor paper, it's a little bit thicker, so it's designed to handle the water and not buckle quite as much. So that is the theory anyway. So enough of me jibber-jabbering. Let's go ahead and get to Judge Dredd. I am a huge fan of this character. I won't pretend to have read a ton of his comics, but I love the design, and I've been meaning, I've been wanting to dig into some of those old comics. I love the Carl Urban movie, less so the Stallone movie. But hey, to each its own. So the key to getting a good Judge Dredd is you gotta get, obviously the helmet is iconic. But you also got to get the scowl. That frown is very important. So let's see here. Let's see if we can get him kind of like, let's see, we can get his head right here. So is that coming through? Yeah, I think that's... Let me brighten. Hold on. Nope, that's way too bright. Whoa. Let's try that. And then let's try this, maybe. Nope, too much. Alright, whoa. There we go. I think that looks better. Cool. Alright, for reals now. If that's too quiet or whatever, or if that's too hard to see, let me know. It will get easier to see as we go. I'm going to move him over here. I'm going to move him over a bit. So let's say we got his head here. And then maybe he's kind of looking down like so. And he's holding his hands up like that. He's got the gun, the lawgiver. I really want to get the lawgiver in here. I found an awesome diagram online. Oh, I don't know what the heck is going on with this music, so we're just going to skip that. Okay, there we go. But yeah, anyway, so we're going to go ahead and get the... I want to get that lawgiver, which is the... his gun. I'm going to do the comic version, not the movie version. Because frankly, the comic book version is pretty darn sweet. And I want to get that. He's got those big old shoulder pads. I want to make sure to get those in there. I might have him looking kind of more at us, like so. And then, okay, let me just draw the gun and then we'll put the hand around it. Let's do that. Okay. If you're not familiar with the lawgiver, what this does, this is his, this is the judge's preferred sidearm. It's their specialty sidearm, and it contains various different types of ammo, all within one weapon, and it's freaking sweet. And you can just call it out and tell it to switch to whichever ammo type you want just by a voice command, and it'll do it. Everything from high explosive to armor piercing to incendiary, you name it. This thing is meant to dish out justice. If I were a crafty person, I would try to do this. I would try to make a replica of this. That would be actually really cool. Okay, we'll get more details in on that as we go. First, let's get some more costume elements. Yeah, and this shoulder pad, he's got a big, he's got the big eagle on it. Which I think is kind of sweet. Let's see. Alright, there's something about this that's just, let's see. Yeah, let's make that head a little bit smaller. There we go. There we go. And then this goes down like that. He's kind of got the punch the pads. Yeah, I'm intentionally not going any real detail at this stage because I want to just make sure that everything is placed in a way that looks good, that works. It's got to have the collar. This is going to be all black in here, and he's got those. And he's got those crazy gloves too. He's got the. This guy's got like Rob Liefeld levels of pouches on his uniform. That's crazy. I've only ever drawn his helmet before, so I've never really done a full-on body shot of this guy before, or a half body of this guy before. So this is kind of fun. He's got this big old pouch. He's got this big old pouch on his arm. His gauntlet, probably from probably for ammo or who knows what. Med kits, you know, field dressings, who knows. And he's got another. Yeah, it's not exactly the simplest costume there is, but that's half the fun. Okay, so this is going to kind of... Yeah, bring the evil head over a bit more. There we go. This guy's gonna be ruling Mega City 1. Hey Mads, how's it going? How's it going? I haven't seen you in a bit. How you been? Well, outside of Rev streams, obviously. But how you been doing? It's going well for me as well. Thank you. Yeah. All is good. Probably the biggest news is I'm going to be starting a new day job here in November, which I'm excited about. And thanks. Yeah, and then of course this week we're drawing Judge Dredd, which is always a win in my book. This was picked by a wonderful donor. Yes, thank you. I'm very excited. Yeah, I'm not saying what the job is publicly for obvious reasons, but needless to say, I'm quite excited about that. So yeah. And you probably weren't here earlier. I'm going to be trying to watercolor this instead of using my usual markers. So, thank you. Yeah, so this is my earlier attempt today at doing like watercolors. It's kind of getting blown out by the light there, but hopefully you can kind of see. So I'm going to try to color this in a similar fashion. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, I like the markers, but I don't know, you're kind of limited by the colors they have. Then with the paints, you get a lot more variety. You can mix them how you want, and by using the just the amount of water you have in the paints, you can get a lot of variety out of the shades you're getting. Now, one of the important things with Judge Dredd, outside of getting that helmet right, is you got to get that scowl. Judge Dredd has the most epic frown you'll ever find in comics. He's not a happy camper, this guy.
He's out there serving the law. Justice.
I don't know. I don't even know if I'm doing that justice. Let's see. Wow, that doesn't look like a frown at all. How's the comic coming along? Great question. I actually have hit a bit of a snag with it, where my initial plan for it hasn't quite gone. It's basically just not going to work. Long story short, so I'm having to kind of retool some things and retweak some things. So what I'm going to do is, while I'm kind of reworking that story, I'm actually going to be getting back to drawing this sample script that I downloaded a while back from the great Chuck Dixon. It's a 8-page sample script, and that'll give me a chance to kind of refine my workflow and hopefully it'll give me some time to work out the issues I was running into with the book. So by the time I get that test book done and all that, I should be ready to go back and get going on it properly. So yeah, just doing some character redesigns, some story work stuff, and so hopefully by the time it actually does come out, it'll be better. Thank you. Well, yeah, it's just this funny thing with comics, specifically, is you really want things to, you got to be very specific about how the page is laid out, like how what's on what page works into the next thing. And I had this cool reveal plan for one of my pages, and just the way it was currently going, it just wasn't going to work. The truth is, I got really impatient, and rather than doing the work up front that I should have been doing, I kind of just started jumping right into it, and I think that really bit me in the end there. So, excuse me, lessons learned. Lessons learned. But yeah, so my comic will definitely be getting done. Don't you worry about that. Just not quite as soon as I would have hoped, but live and learn. Thank you. So how you been doing? Yeah, this is gonna be fun because the lawgiver here has a this dial doing well, just work. Yeah. Hear that? See, this could actually be fun because the lawgiver here has like this dial with different colors in it to tell you what type of ammo it's using. So I can have some fun with that color-wise. Let's see. Well, I don't know, because some images show it that way, and other images have it just solid red. So I don't know. We'll see. I've noticed the more I've looked into Judge Dredd comics, they seem to not really worry too much about continuity, which is fine. Okay. I don't know how familiar you are, Mads, with Judge Dredd, but he's a very fun comic character. He's been going since the early 80s, I think. Late 70s, early 80s from Britain. There was a movie that came out, I was about to say a couple years ago, but it's been a lot longer than that now. Jeez. Starring Carl Urban, called Dredd, and it's just awesome. There's also a Stallone movie that we just don't talk about that one. Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, that's funny because like Dredd he's gotten some of the some of the best artists in the business have done like Judge Dredd paintings and drawings, and he's just such a cool character. Well, it's fun because his books are like they're tough action, high octane, whatever, but there's this kind of satirical element to it as well that makes it really fun. It's kind of yeah. And what's funny because like the one rule with Judge Dredd is he never takes the helmet off because like nobody cares what's under that helmet. He doesn't have a secret identity. He is Dredd, and that's just who he is. And so that's why, like in the Stallone movie they did back in the '90s, a lot of people rioted against that one because it's like the first thing Stallone did was take the helmet off, and you're like, no, Stallone doesn't do that. And but that Carl Urban movie, man, that was so good. Carl Urban, he does the whole movie just acting with his chin, and he does it so beautifully. It's just perfect. But like in the early comics, they actually did draw a panel where they showed his face, and the editor looking at the panel said, "This is so underwhelming seeing his actual face that they didn't have time to redraw it because the book had to come out, so they just put a big censor bar over that panel, so they just blocked out the face. They're like, look, nobody wants to see that." We want to see Dredd in the helmet. I gotta make sure I really get that scowl right, man, because he's some kind of like that rough skin texture. Don't want to make him too pretty boy. I just love stories like that. It's just like nobody cares, man. No one wants to see what nobody wants to see what he actually looks like. Put him in the helmet. Have him dish out justice. There we go. Now, if I were smarter, I probably would have had him turn the other way and have the more complicated shoulder pad on the other side. But where's the fun in that? Let's see. Then he's got the chain that holds his badge. Does that go? Yeah, it just kind of goes up to here. Okay. You gotta get the lawgiver right. But yeah, if you're a fan of kind of post-apocalyptic action movies, that Carl Urban Judge Dredd movie is easy to recommend. Carl Urban, man, he just has ways of taking those lines that are like should be really cheesy, but the way he does them in the movie, you're just in, you know. Because like the plot of the movie is he has to take this rookie out for an assessment to make sure that she's you know, got what it takes to be a judge. And his boss says, you know, take her into the deep end, and he just looks and just scowls and just goes, "It's all the deep end," and you're just like, yeah. I was just like, okay, I'm in. That was really early on in the movie. As soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, I think I'm going to like this. Looking at awesome, check it out. Yeah, it's one of those movies like I'm ashamed to admit that I didn't give it a chance when it came out in theaters because I was still thinking about the terrible Stallone one. I guess I hadn't put together about the comics. I wasn't as familiar with the comics at the time when that came out, so I just didn't bother with it. And I think it came out 2011, I think is what it was. And but then like I just kept hearing everybody say, "Oh, this is the most amazing." Like everyone just kept saying, "Oh, you got to check this out. This is awesome." And I was like, "Okay, all right, it's good. Let's go. Let's finally it came out on Netflix." And so I checked it out, and oh my god, yeah, it's pretty brutal. So I will warn you, if you're squeamish, may not be the best. I mean, it's not like that's not super bad. It's just bad guys getting shot out and stuff. Just awesome one-liners. It kind of feels like an old school 80s action movie, and I mean that in the best ways possible. Of course, the classic Dredd line is the "I am the law." Yeah, I know Carl Urban said he'd love to come back and do another one, and everyone's been wanting that to happen forever. But I know the movie got stuck in some kind of ownership battles and stuff like that, and so it's been kind of on hold for a bit. So who knows? We'll see. I got this. Dude, you could easily get some Nerf guns together and make like your own version of this. That'd be awesome. K-pop junkie, thank you for the subscribe. Very much appreciate that. Thank you very much. Very appreciative of that. That is awesome. Thank you. Let's see. A lot of this I'm going to go over in the inks and really define it. I'm just trying to make sure I don't skip too much out on things. Okay, I think that's debating about for the sake of the thing of having like his badge here, just like as a background element that says Dredd on it. So one downside of this pose is it kind of blocks his badge. Yeah. Don't worry about that. Okay. Cool. Okay. So let's go ahead and lighten this down a bit. Just ever so lightly. Oh my god, this paper, it's awesome. I get why people like this stuff. Because he's fantastic. Okay. There it is. My inking tools disappeared on me for a minute there, so I had to go. Don't worry, I got them back though. I got them back. All right, here we go. There's a lot of black in this costume, so I'm going to get to really flesh that out, which is going to be fun. Technically, his visor has is mostly black, but since it's kind of like a see-through thing, I'm going to try to color that with the watercolors and see what happens there. But yeah, this helmet takes a little getting used to in terms of how it's laid out, but oh my gosh. Yeah. If I were crafty, man, like, you know, like some of those cosplayers you're seeing, I would love to make myself a Judge Dredd costume. Or I can be a judge. I don't have to be Judge Dredd. I can be, because I'd have to shave my beard if I was going to be Dredd himself. And I'm sorry, but even justice is not worth that. So, but the beauty of it is there's a number of judges, so I can be the bearded judge. I could be Judge Gollum Wolf. Would that be too on the nose? Because, like, I don't know. I just don't think Judge Tim would sound as cool. I mean, Judge Adams, I guess, could kind of work. But like Judge Dredd, that's so cool. Yeah, and I've kind of gotten real obsessed with these Zig markers. There's a great live stream on YouTube called the Graybeard Studio, which has a bunch of the well, it has like 4 old school comic book artists on there, and they've been, you know, they're all industry veterans and stuff like that, and they draw every week. And one of the guys there, he's real big on these Zig brushes, and that's kind of where I learned about them. And I gotta tell you, I haven't tried them out. They're pretty sweet. I gotta say, they are pretty awesome. take a little getting used to, but they're waterproof, and I just love how... Whoa, that light is really bright. Okay, if I tilt it there. I probably will come in with a micron, though, and give them some, like, stubble and whatnot. Yeah, I gotta really emphasize that scowl that he's got going. Dredd is not Dredd unless you get the helmet right and that scowl. You gotta get the... He's got the best frown in all the comics. That's gonna happen to you when you spend your days roaming the streets serving justice in Mega City 1. Okay. Okay. Could you imagine having to draw this guy, like, panel after panel? I don't know. You get used to it. But yeah, some of the best artists in the in the industry have just done some really cool artwork regarding Judge Dredd. I mean, everything from just awesome paintings to, you know, whatever. It's just all good stuff. I don't know where they got the idea for these designs. I'm gonna have to look into that some more. Looking like, based on a lot of the image reference I've got up here, it looks like his glove is green, so that's interesting. Well, I don't know. I guess it kind of works. Black suit, red helmet, gold shoulder pads, green gauntlets. I guess it kind of works. Some wrinkles. Yeah, I love these. Let's see. You don't see too many characters with like gauntlet pouches. Like, what would you put in a gauntlet pouch? I'm sure there's a lot of things that would be useful to have in a gauntlet pouch. Such as, I don't know, med kits, ammo. I don't know.
Whatever it takes to defend city.
To put justice
And Mega City 1.
Let's see. Circles. Yeah, I don't know. It's turning into something, I think. Okay. So this, I'm probably going to use the rounded tip. The rounded tip is nice for a more uniform look, since this is kind of a mechanical object. So I want to make sure that I'm getting more of the, you know, uniform look. And let's see, I want to make sure, there we go. Let's see. Oh, that's right. He's got that little logo there. I'll skip that one. That's weird. So I was trying to think, because the next few weeks, I don't have any other characters in the queue right now, so the fact that it's October, I was thinking about it'd be kind of fun to, for the next couple of weeks, do some more spooky, you know, or like monster characters, something along those lines. Anybody watching out there? Do you have any kind of go-to like movie monsters or kind of scary characters or anything like that you think would be fun to do? Feel free to shout them out. I never did. Okay. This is pretty much all just going to be black in here. Okay. Jackson, of course, says Godzilla. Of course, of course. I will consider that one. How you doing, Jake? Get some
Judge Dredd
going. Serving some
justice. He is the law.
Not bad. Not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah, I'm pretty doing quite well. I was talking earlier to Mads and whoever else was listening. Yeah, my barbarian comic hit a bit of a snag, so I'm kind of going back to the drawing board on that one, and so I'm gonna. I got a little bit impatient and started. And it kind of came back to bite me, so I'm going to be doing some reworking on that. But otherwise, yeah, this Judge Dredd dispensing justice and peach. Yes, peach trees.
Citizens and peach trees. Here's a reminder. I am the law. And for you, Mama, judgment time.
Oh, so good. But yeah, so I'm gonna I need to kind of work on my workflow as far as getting comic pages done. So I'm gonna go back to working on my on this sample script that I downloaded a while back from the great Chuck Dixon, who was the one that wrote it. So I'm gonna try getting back on drawing that and use that for practice while I kind of rework some stuff on the comic. So hopefully that will allow me to make it really cool by the time it comes out. Of course, you expect to learn something every time you do it, but I do kind of wish they gave Carl Urban these big shoulder pads. I mean, I get why they didn't, but that would have been sweet. But yeah.
It's all the deep end.
That's right. Okay. Yeah, the other thing that's going to be different about this one is I'm going to be trying to watercolor this, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, but Jake, I gotta tell you, I did find some really cool blueprints online for his gun, the Lawgiver, and it looks like you can make it out of different like Nerf gun parts. It looks kind of sweet. If you remind me, I'll send them to you. I think you'd get a kick out of them. Yeah, so you can make them. So you can make it with all that free time you've got. Yeah, right. Fantastic question. Yeah, I've heard about it. It's this mythical thing that I've heard that there is such a thing. I don't know what it is or what one does with it, but apparently it exists in some faraway land. It's kind of gnarling up his skin a little bit. I really want to make sure to get that. Don't want to lose that scowl. Oh, hey, look. We got a bot. Woo! So long, bot. Bye, bot. Woo! I ain't paying for no followers. Okay. So pretty much all of this is going to be blackened out. Let's get my big... His suit is pretty much all black except for the gloves and the helmet. And the, whatchamacallit, the badges. You know, I might have to watch Dredd again tonight before after the stream. I've got it on Blu-ray. I might just have to do it. What's up, Creative Faye? Yellow yourself. How are you? Good to see you. Filling in all the black areas. Good. Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Yeah, Judge Dredd is always he's always a fun character for me to draw. I love when I get to do that. So Jay White Rice here in the chat was very kind enough to donate to the coffee page and chose this character. So. Yeah, I was thinking about, because, yeah. Which Dredd movie? Oh, the Carl Urban one, of course. Easily the best. Yeah, of course, the Carl Urban one. I mean, I confess, it's been years since I've seen the Stallone one, so I'm not going to pretend to remember it all that well, but I remember not being a huge fan of it. Well, of course, the big cardinal sin of that movie is, you know, they had Dredd take his helmet off, and nobody wants to see that. Same, yeah, same. I've read some of them the IDW stuff when they were doing that. And it was, I mean, I enjoyed the bits that I read. I mean, I'm sure it's not as good as the, you know, the classic John Wagner stuff. But, yeah, because one thing I like about the classic, you know, like 2000 AD Dredd is, in the comics anyway, is there's this, like, yeah, they get dark and they get action and all that stuff, but there's also this satirical bent to it, you know. Like, there's a classic cover where Dredd's looking for somebody, and he's got the, you know, the picture of the person, and he's showing it to this just super mutated dude who's got all the, you know, just giant dude with horns and all this stuff, and the guy's going, yeah, I haven't seen him, you know, it's like it's just normal. But characters like Judge Death just look awesome. Like, I love the character designs. I love the visual designs of it. You know, I didn't hate Mama so much, frankly. I thought she did a good job as a foil. I mean, she, you know, give her credit where it's due. She really went all in on being evil. But I didn't mind it personally so much, but, you know, to each their own. She definitely went all in. But I really liked, was it Donald Gleason, the guy that played Kelsey told that story too. Which story? I'm sorry, I missed. Yeah. But yeah, the which story did Kelsey also tell that I told? Sorry, I'm misremembering now. But yeah, I also like the Donald Gleason, who, oh yeah, I didn't buy her act. Yeah, hey, that's fair. That's fair. To each their own. But yeah, but Donald Gleason, he played the he was kind of the lackey in her lackey in the movie that you found out was. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. Yep. I think I've seen that. Actually, I think Greybeards is where I saw that poster. Or is where I saw that. Yeah, that cover, and I thought it was great. But what I thought was funny was, yeah, the big cardinal sin with the Judge Dredd, with the Stallone Dredd is, he had to take his helmet off, and which you just don't do with Judge Dredd, and to the point where, in like one of the original early runs with John Wagner, there's a panel where they showed Dredd without the helmet, and the guy ended up the editor saw that panel and was going, okay, well, this is so underwhelming that we just, it's showing just some random dude's face, so we're just gonna not use that because it's just, there's no point in having that in there. And so they put they basically just put a big censor bar over the face that they drew on that panel, because they're like, well, we don't have time to redraw it, so we're just going to put a big censor panel over it and call it good, because no one cares enough to see this dude's face. Everyone wants to see Dredd, no one wants to see no one wants to just see some dude. Dredd is the helmet and the scowl. Yeah, it's fine. I'm using the Arches hot press watercolor paper, which is not cheap, but I gotta tell you, man, I like this. The zig is just flowing beautifully on this paper. How are we doing time-wise? Oh, we got an hour yet. Oh, yeah. With all those black filled in. So how things been going with you so far, Faye? Let's see. Yeah, I'm also kind of thinking about some Halloween-y character suggestions for, since we are in October now. I don't know, I'm debating about, like, should I draw, like, Pennywise and Freddy Krueger and, or, Jason, or, I don't know. Or is that something anybody would even care about? There are little pock marks here. I don't want these, I don't want that pad to be... Okay. So let's get that pencil off. And the moment I have definitely been curious about. Let's see how this watercoloring goes. Time to watercolor this baby up. After I fix I could go forever trying to redo that, so let's see if I can. So that's kind of more of the angle. I know that light's kind of blowing it out, but hopefully that gives you a better idea of kind of what it looks like. So I'm going to fix this right here. There. Okay, so we're gonna break out my super high-end watercolor paints. Kelsey Shannon would be proud. Got my water container. Got a whole bunch of brushes. Got my paper towels. Well, let's do this. Okay. Question is, where do we start first? I think I'm gonna... Since there is so little of it, I think I might start with the skin tones. And I got my little scrap paper here just to test colors out, just to make sure it works before I put it on the paper. Where's my? Of course, now I'm missing now I'm misplaced everything. Well, I had a spray bottle, little spritzer bottle, and of course I can't find. Oh, here it is! Haha! Found it. Just didn't look in the right spot. So here you go. So just spraying a little bit of water on the cake. I know you can't see my watercolor palette, but just trust me, it's there. Alright, so let's mix up a bit of this. Let's see how that looks. That's a little white, or a little dark, so let's lighten it up a little bit. That's not bad. I'll just put a little bit of water in it. That works. Okay. We're going to put a few different, and the beauty about watercolors, you can kind of mix in a few different shades within the skin to make it look Make it look cooler, I think. Like, for example, this is one of my earlier tests I did today. I don't know if it's coming across the camera, but you can mix some blues and stuff like that within that skin tone, and it still kind of works. And I don't know, it just makes it look cool. So, I've diluted it quite a bit here. Okay, let's give that a shot. So we can kind of. That paper towel was a lifesaver. Yeah, you can kind of layer it. Alright. Alright, so now we're going to do a lot of gray, bluish gray, because we got kind of that area of the suit, as well as the gun. The gun's, most of the gun is black actually, but hold on, we'll see. What's up, Adam Black?
I am the law.
That's right, sir. That is right.
I am the law. And to you, Mama. Judgment time.
Okay. So good. How you doing, Adam? Good to see you here as always. Hope things are going good with you. I'm being a little gutsy today, and it's going good, man. It's going good. I'm being a little gutsy tonight and trying some watercolor live here on the streams instead of the markers. So we'll see how this turns out. But I can show you in a second some of my trial attempts. I can show you as soon as I get this on there, because dry times when it comes to watercolors is a thing. So, but yeah, stop it. There we go. Just learning to let the watercolor just kind of go and do what it wants. How you been doing, man? There's a couple spots I'm probably gonna have to come back in with the ink. Oop. I probably will have to come back in with the ink and fill some, fix some of that. Oh well. But yeah, here's a couple of my earlier attempts at watercolors. Here's a headshot of Domini. And then this is nobody in particular. Man, he looks really yellow on that camera. But anyway. Yeah, this is nobody in particular. This is just me screwing around. But I thought they turned out kind of cool. So, I don't know. It's not going to be as bad as you think, bud. Yeah, and if you need, if you ever need a call or get tips on somebody that's done it for a long time, just let me know. I'm Judge Dredding. Oh, I just got it though. Sorry, that one took me a second. I got it. That's funny. That's funny. Also great. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I do enjoy the Copic markers, but there's just, I don't know. There's a lot more variety in terms of the colors you get to use in your painting. With marker, you're kind of limited to the colors that you have. I mean, you can mix them to some extent, but it's not. Yeah, it doesn't give you the greatest of variety, So having some watercolors can kind of really, having some paints that you can mix up really allows you to kind of go ham and do what you want. Gotta get this yeah, I just love this character. He's just got big old American Eagle right there on his shoulder.
Just like justice. Citizens of peach trees. I am the law.
Yeah, I don't know if you were here earlier, Adam. We were talking. I was talking about with the Halloween season upon us. Be kind of cool to do some kind of Halloween themed characters. This was the last one in my queue from my coffee page. So I don't know. Are there any kind of like movie monsters or like scary guys, or like Freddy or any of those types of characters that you would like to see? Like, I don't know. I was kind of debating about like trying out like Pennywise maybe, or I don't know, Freddy Krueger, or I don't know, Jason Voorhees maybe. I don't know. Just throwing around ideas. Or I could remembering what earlier stream from you. I could try drawing one of the children of the corn. Drawing that kid with the crazy eye, with the crazy big eyes and the hat. Yeah, I'm trying to make this not so bright yellow. There we go. Ooh, Beetlejuice could be fun. You know, I don't know if I've ever drawn Beetlejuice. That could be a fun one. That's a good idea. Yeah, man. Here we go. Hey, can you hold this for me? Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah. Oh, man. That's gonna be something. Yeah, I thought the second Beetlejuice, it had its moments, but it wasn't great. It had some moments that were good, but yeah, that original Beetlejuice is a lot of fun. Okay. We're gonna have to let those dry a bit before I start layering on some shadows. So, okay. Helmet time. Here we go. We'll go brightest of the bright reds. The most candy apples of reds. There we go. I think that works. I'll have to do a couple layers, I'm sure, but gotta go the road last. Oh, Creature with the Black. Okay. You know, those are all good, solid examples, man. Solid choices. Nosferatu and the Creature would be awesome. Ash Williams could be fun too.
Groovy.
Oh my god. Yeah, I have an image in my head already of him with the chainsaw in hand and the shotgun. This is my boomstick. Yeah, Pinhead maybe. I don't know. I saw that first Hellraiser movie. I don't know. It was all right. But yeah, his design is kind of cool though. I get that. But Hannibal Lecter could be interesting too with the mask. Damn it, Clarice. Have the lamb stop screaming. Dude, that movie was nuts. No, I do like those suggestions though. Hey, no shade, man. I'm a bit of a horror movie buff myself. I mean, Pinhead's look is pretty cool, so I do like it. But yeah, I read I did, just for kicks and grins. I did read the book that the movie Nightbreed came from, which is another Clive Barker story, and oh man, that was something. That movie, that book. That was an experience, I gotta say. Clive Barker is a interesting fella. But yeah, I know. As soon as I like see a puzzle box, I'm just like, leave it, leave it. Yeah, no joke. I was walking around the mall at one point, and not too long after seeing that movie, and for the first time, and yeah, I saw a puzzle box like sitting there on the shelf at the store, and I immediately just like, nope, we're walking away. So I'm gonna have to come in and reinforce some of these inks here once the water dries, but that's fine. That's actually okay. I don't mind having a little bit of distressing on his suit, because the suit's supposed to be kind of grody anyway. Dude, what if I did all puzzles for sure? What if I did like Ash Williams versus like Nosferatu or versus Pinhead? That could be fun. Yep, puzzle boxes. No, we don't do that. Stay Puft Marshmallow Guy from... I could do that. That could be fun. There's a big Twinkie. That could be kind of fun, actually. Probably should get some of a more... probably should get a smaller brush for this stuff, but... I don't feel like it. Okay. Thanks, Mom. All right, no worries, Adam. We'll be here a bit, so take your time. Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, though, from Ghostbusters would be pretty fun. That could be pretty fun. Let's see. I gotta get... Hey, Kent, how's it going? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I gotta say, kind of happy with how this is turning out. How you guys doing tonight? Yeah, I'm gonna have to do another pass on that red just to make it. I know it looks kind of orange on the screen. I get that, but it will look better when in person and as I get more layers going, it should look a little bit more red. Yeah, that's already looking better. Sometimes you just got to do a couple coats. Let's try one of my thinner brushes for this because I want to get some I get that lawgiver going.
I am the law.
Is it more difficult to blend and shade with watercolor? Actually, not so much compared to the markers. I find blending and shading with watercolor actually a bit easier because it's all about the watercolor or about the water content. And if you, the trickiest part about watercolor is just keeping track of the dry time, which you don't have to worry about obviously as much as markers. But in watercolor, if you put it down a color that doesn't quite work right, if you catch it quick enough, you can just pick it up with your handy dandy paper towel and good to go. Or you can go in with a a wet brush and you can kind of pick it up a bit. But yeah, I like the fact that I can layer a little bit easier with watercolors. Now, yeah, the one advantage to marker is you get to pretty much pick that first color right from the get-go and call it good. But which is you can't really do so much with watercolor, or it's harder to do with watercolor, that's for sure. But it's not impossible. Let's see. It's like right here, I can just kind of come in and just kind of stain it a little bit. Which I happen to be a fan of. So, and this is really this is the good high quality paper too. So this is handling this very well. Which I'm of course thankful for. Yeah, I got some ink spots here I'm going to have to recover. But yeah, you know, if you really want to blend them, you can, as long as your paints are still wet, you're good to go. But as soon as your paints start to dry, then you're basically layering. Let's see. So his gloves are kind of this greenish color. So let's try this. That works. I think I might go back to my bigger brush for this. You know, for a cheap little watercolor set using an actor played him in the movies. Well, the first one that we don't talk about was Sylvester Stallone, but the good one is Carl Urban. Hands down the better of the two movies. But yeah, the Carl Urban one is just absolutely incredible. I've gushed about it a few times here on this. I've gushed on it a few times tonight, but yeah, it's just so good. But yeah, the big cardinal the cardinal rule with Judge Dredd is you do not take the helmet off. And Stallone broke that rule frequently throughout the movie. But Carl Urban, he acted out that whole movie just using his chin, and it was incredible.
I am the law.
And he made some, yeah, God. I know I'm repeating myself a lot for people that have been watching the whole stream, but God, it's just so good. You know, when his boss is like, take the rookie and throw her in the deep end, and he just goes,
It's all the deep end.
just like, oh, I love it. I love this. All this variation from one of the cakes of watercolors. It's pretty... Yeah, for those wondering, this is kind of what my watercolor set looks like. The cap, or the top of it, has this really nice kind of section here for mixing my paints up, which is really handy. So just with that one green, I've been able to get quite a bit of variety in shade. It's all based on the, all based on the amount of water that I have in the brush. So it's pretty versatile. The one kicker for me is that you can't go lighter. So once you get your color down, it's down. Or like once you get your, you can go darker all you want, but you can't go lighter. So something to keep in mind. Okay. Cool. Let's see here. This is kind of I want to get like a real pale blue. should work. There. Just kind of tint little parts of the face, give him a little bit of, you know, like red in the cheeks. Kind of red in this lip here. Yeah, I really want to give that appeal. I really want to give that, you know, feeling that he's just absolutely scowling. He is not happy. And the beauty about this character is everything he wears is supposed to be kind of ragged and worn. So if it's not, you know, so if I get a little bit of extra, you know, grit or whatever on different parts of the image, it's not really gonna break anything because this character is meant to be pretty rough and ragged. So it kind of works out. Make sure I have enough. Yeah, there we go. Let's see. I might. Okay. Oh, okay, we're getting close to that 2-hour mark here. So let me see here. last thing to do, I guess, is to do a bit of a background. And then I may need to touch up some of the inks got a little bit blown out by the color, but I don't know. I don't hate it actually. I think it looks kind of works with it. But so I'm gonna do for the background here is I think I'm just gonna get a big dang brush, just get it wet, and then we're just gonna kind of pre-wet the surface here. And then in theory, this is supposed to cause the water or the color to kind of blend and play and stuff like that in here. So let's see how this goes. Just out of curiosity. This is me just messing around now, having a little bit of fun. Whee. Actually, coming in with that water, with the rag, kind of gives it that look of almost like cloud effects. I don't know if that's coming through in the camera or not. Call that a happy accident, my friend. So I'll tell you what we're going to do now is hit it with the hair dryer to help speed up the dry times, fix some of the inks, and then we will be out. So you probably don't want to hear this hair dryer, so I'm going to mute myself for just a moment while I do this, and I'll be back in just one. And there we are. So now no matter how good the paper is, it is going to buckle on occasion. So I gotta let's see. Tape it down. So I'm going to have to put some. I'm going to have to lay it flat and put a couple heavy books on top of it, just to kind of help keep it straight. Just to help flatten it out. I guess the smarter thing to do would have been to tape it down before I started painting. Who knows? Maybe next time. Maybe next week I'll actually think to do that. But oh well. So, but for right now, I just got a couple ink spots that got kind of overpowered, so I kind of want to touch up. Gotta get that scowl. And just about like that, I'll go ahead and sign this baby. And we will call it good there. Thank you very much. Thank you. Glad you like it. Yeah, I'm quite happy with how this turned out. I'll be honest. So yeah, this is rather fun. Let's see. Sorry, I keep saying I'm done, but then I keep finding little things I want to fix. But you know, just add like little dots and divots and kind of all kinds of, you know, wear and tear stuff. But there we are. There is the Judge Dredd. Hey, thanks. Thank you very much. Yeah, I gotta say, the watercolor is a lot of fun. I gotta say, I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. So, I'm far from an expert with it, but I think yeah, I've been messing around with it today. You know, like I said, if those weren't here to see them earlier, these are my earlier attempts for watercolor. This is no dude in particular. This is just messing around. And then this is me trying to do a portrait of Dom and I thought it turned out kind of cool. And so then, yeah. So I brought that into this, and here we are. Good old Judge Dredd, ready to bring in justice. and enforce the law in the dystopian future of
Mega City 1. Judgment time.
But anyway, yeah, so that's it for this week, I guess. So, yeah. So if any of you at all feel like supporting me down the road, you can go ahead and click on the coffee.com/golemwolf. My the URL's on the screen. It's also a pinned comment on YouTube and somewhere on Twitch. Not sure exactly where, but it's on there somewhere. I am doing a deal where if you donate $5, you get to guarantee a character in the queue. This is the last of the characters that I had in my queue, so if I don't get anything else next week, I'll do something more Halloween related. I don't know, Adam had some great suggestions in there, so I might do one of those. And I don't know, Creature from the Black Lagoon or Nosferatu, both of those sound really fun, so we'll see. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be back next week, same time, same place. And until then,